Hello, folks. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. So, Jay Powell's Fed went ahead and raised their target rate 75 basis points to 2.5%, as the world expected. No big surprise. In fact, the stock market increased about 500 points, or, 434 points at the close. Bonds basically flat, the 10-year 279. Gold up a little bit at 18 bucks. I kind of think if he had a little more hair in his chest, he would have done 100 basis points. My theory is simply that the faster the Fed gets its target rate above inflation and drains excess cash from the economy and moves back to price stability, then the faster the economy can start growing again. Remember, the Fed's recent tightening moves have not yet significantly impacted the economy, really. It's still ahead of us. The economic slump in the first half of the year is basically a function of skyrocketing inflation, which has undermined real wages and real retail sales and completely damaged consumer and small business confidence. For example, if you took a look at yesterday's Conference Board report, consumer confidence survey dropping like a stone. July reading 95.7. A year ago, 125.1. That's a drop of 23%. And consumer inflation expectations for the next year, 7.6%, which I find to be just about right. Now, market signals are suggesting a peak of inflation. But the point is it's going to be sticky on the way down, and it's going to take over a year, maybe 2 years, if the Fed is ever going to get back to its 2% target. So this is not going to be easy. And if you want any semblance of growth in the economy, you've got to extend the Trump tax cuts, and you've got to slash Biden's modern socialism regulatory scourge. Like his jihad against fossil fuels, for that matter, the rest of business, and his opposition to profits, and his insistence that the focal point of his progressive economic policy is income redistribution and radical climate activism. These policies have to go away. They are obstructing economic growth. Low taxes and tight money is the right recipe. But the Bidens don't get that, and they never will. Now, there is a breaking news story about the Fed. Chinese spying and espionage has infiltrated our nation's central bank. Now, Jay Powell denies it, but the Senate's Committee on Homeland Security and the FBI and Britain's MI5 are hot on the trail, issuing a rare joint warning to all businesses over Chinese espionage and cyber hacking. And the Fed research assistants throughout the system apparently have had illegal contacts with the Chinese ruling Communist Party. Now, they are being busted, I'm read. China's tried to get hold of Federal Reserve economic models and key data points, and Chinese efforts for talent recruitment programs, as well as all kinds of information sharing. Now, this goes all the way back to a Fed investigation back in 2015, where they identified 13 people of interest, dubbed the P Network. And that was 8 of the 12 regional reserve banks. Then a former employee of the Fed, identified as Z, attempted to recruit network members. I mean, this stuff is fabulous. It's right out of a John le Carré novel. Think Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy. Rob Portman is the lead senator on this investigation, so he can play George Smiley in the new movie replacing Gary Oldman. Now, why Jay Powell is denying all this is beyond me. But if he continues, we are not going to give him a part in this new movie. Adding to the plot, a Fed economist traveling to Shanghai a couple years ago had Chinese thugs breaking into his hotel room, telling him he has to share sensitive information and advise the Chinese Communist government. They even monitored his telephone calls surrounding his prior divorce. Ooh, those guys play tough, very cruel. Frankly, I don't know why the Chinese want the Fed's forecast, because the Fed's forecast is never any good. Maybe Jay Powell is handling double agents to spread bad information to China. That was a joke. But in any case, this is a nasty story. This is about national security, and it is about Chinese communist evil doing. This is one of the many reasons why Joe Biden should absolutely refuse to make any concessions to China on tariffs or selling strategic petroleum oil reserves or anything else. But President Biden will not be in the new movie. Trust me on that.